It's an R53, yeah, Mini Cooper S 2006. I bought this 6 months ago, but I had one back in 2017 as well. I had a blue one, a hyper blue one in 2017, and I sold it thinking that I really wanted a Golf GTI, and that was the worst decision I ever made. Spent a lot of money and lost a lot of money on that. It was actually for sale around the same time that I bought the 2017 one. The one I bought in 2017 I brought it from the UK, but this one was for sale around the same time, but it was bog standard, but it was just a really good spec in it, but it was just out of budget at the time. But then when I went looking around about 6 months ago, looking for them again, Terry, the guy who was selling it, I messaged him one night, and it was up for sale for maybe 2-3 months and he couldn't shift it. And I messaged him one night, I was like, here Terry, I'm looking for a Mini Cooper S, and he was like, oh, I've literally just made the decision to put it in the garage, I'm going to keep it. And I was like, no. So I continued the search anyway, found absolutely nothing. Ireland's typical car scene is absolutely nothing for sale that you want, all high mileage, no service history or whatever. And went back to him again 2 weeks later, I was like, please Terry, sell this to me, please, let me buy this car. So yeah, no, but it was his track toy. He babied it, like he changed the oil every 5,000 kilometers, something, even if it needed to be done or not. Brake fluid, he changed every time before he went on track. So yeah, no, it was babied, which I was happy with. So that was the thing. Yeah, service history was my main thing. Like mileage, I could kind of forgive. Like I was looking at ones in the UK with like 120, 130,000 miles, which I didn't really mind as long as they had good service history. But thankfully this one only has 86,000 miles. It's like 137,000 kilometers on it. But they're temperamental though. They like the mechanics. And I go down to Courtney's in East Wall. Those guys, they mainly do BMW and Mini stuff, and they're really good. Like they really know their stuff. Like they've helped me out big time with it. So, but most of the work has already been done on it. Like I haven't actually had to do much on it. It needed a timing chain, so I got that done. But then when I got that done, I noticed the intercooler was cracked, so I upgraded the intercooler on it. But that's the only thing at the moment. Other than this morning I was driving through town, I noticed there's a lumpy idle, so there is something else to be done on it now, which I'll figure out. My dad is really into Triumphs, old classic Triumphs, so there was a guy down in Tipperary looking to get rid of his dad's old car, so we were like, screw it, let's go down and see what this is about. I was in transition here at the time, so I was looking for a project. And I went down to look at this Triumph Toledo, 1976 Triumph Toledo, and it was an absolute heap. Took it home anyway, we got it for free, like took it home and it was really rusty. Had it for maybe 4 or 5 years, and to be honest I didn't really do much with it, because the more I looked at it, the more work that I needed to be done on it, so I ended up getting rid of that. But that was officially my first car buy. Even though I didn't do much, I learned a little bit on it, and I've learned a lot about cars really through my dad as well, through the Triumph, like the TR6 that he has, Triumph TR6, which we've had for a while. But yeah, so that was my first Toledo. Then I went on to a Seat Ibiza, a yellow Seat Ibiza, which is my first official car. Had that for 2 years or so. Then I bought the Mini, then I bought the hyper blue Mini, then the GTI, Mark V GTI, then went to a Mark II MX-5, which I ran last winter, and then it was around 6 months ago, whenever I bought this, I was like, don't think I could face another winter with a very low and cold old MX-5, so I decided to go for something a little bit newer and then bought this. But I think this is to keep though. I don't think I'm going to sell this. And they're starting to creep up in price now as well, which are hard to find good ones, so I'm kind of happy with it. If I was to get another one, I'd get a maybe bog standard one, like this has a few bits done to it, but I'd like a bog standard one. But no, this is to keep. He's changed everything twice pretty much on it. Like there's like common bits like alternators, power steering, pumps and coolant expansion tanks and stuff, which he's done a couple of times on them. There's a massive list of stuff that was done with this car, but the main points are he has BC coilovers on it, adjustable BC coilovers which you put onto it, which to be honest I might change out because it's pretty firm, like especially around Dublin. Like this is my daily driver, so going around town it's pretty hefty, like, so I'd like maybe even just lowering springs, something a little bit comfier. He put on the wheels, which is a Team Dynamic 1.7 race, I think they're called. Really light as well. I got them refurbed there a couple of months ago. Then he's done a remap on it as well. So standard they're 168, and he's brought it up to like, was it 202 or 203 horsepower, I think, so just over 200. He has, yeah, it's only like 1,100 kilos, 1,200 kilos. And I suppose with that would be with the standard wheels and stuff as well. So I'd say it's a little bit lighter than that now, I'm not too sure. Although this is full fat spec though, it has like heated seats and all that kind of jazz, and the and the sunroof, so it might be a little bit over, I'm not too sure. Yeah, so they drilled discs on the front. I'm pretty sure they're Mintex brakes. They have 80 pads in them at the moment. I think they were Mintex when I got them. Yeah, then under the bonnet, then there's the intercooler, which I put on AirTech intercooler. He put on Fiesta ST injectors. Yeah, which bring it up to JCW spec. So like if it was the Mini Cooper S JCW, it would be similar enough to them. He's put the strengthening bars in as well from the convertible, so we'll show you the engine later on, but like there's 2 little strengthening bars just over the front wheels, which come from the convertible to just make it a little bit more stiff. Yeah, he has the suspension on it. There's a good few bits, like I can't even remember half the stuff, like he's done loads of stuff to it. Like, so he bought it, he bought it second hand, so he bought it in 2017, like just after, so as I was saying, it was for sale by your man, so Terry bought it, and I think he kind of played around with it for a while, and then he kept it as his track toy. So that's why I think the BC coilovers are a little bit too hard, they're a little bit too firm for a town, but no, I'd say they're absolutely perfect on Mondello. Like I have it on the softest setting now, and it's still pretty bumpy. Like, actually, my favourite part of it, it has a Miltech exhaust on it as well. And he had, so when Terry bought the exhaust, he got decap from the decap back, but then he also got a non-res middle pipe, which I haven't put on it yet, but I've heard some pretty good things. Like I've heard them on YouTube and stuff, they sound class. So I'd like to put that on, but it says to be pretty loud. And that's another thing, it has a 17% pulley on it as well, which is a common mod that a lot of people do on Cooper S's. They put on a smaller supercharger pulley just so it spins quicker. So it doesn't actually increase horsepower, it just makes it a little bit more efficient, but the supercharger screams out of their class. They're really good. And that's actually another thing I want to put on as well, is a cold air intake, and that'll kind of bring out that sound a little bit more too, make it a little bit meatier sounding from the cabin. Yeah, I think it's just a plug-in and play, so just take off the standard setup that's on it now and just put on a new one. But it's pretty much like a cone air intake in like a box that you like slap on the side. The supercharger whine is what kind of got me. So when I was looking around in 2017 again looking for them, I looked at the R56, which is the later one, which is a turbo engine, 1.6 turbo. But they're not great. Like they don't have a great track record. They tend to go bang quite easy. Yeah, very much so. So yeah, and I drove a couple of them. I actually drove a JCW one as well and was seriously underwhelmed by it. I was like, it kind of just solidified to me that I wanted the supercharged, because it's just, as I was saying, it's just so quirky. Like it's a 1.6 supercharged engine, like it's so weird. Like as I was saying there, if I was to buy another one, I'd buy like a really clean one, because I'm very like OEM kind of back to stock kind of thing. But I think this has kind of tasteful mods that it doesn't look out of place. So yeah, like to be honest, the only really thing that's on my mind that I'd like to get done is the cold air intake. And other than that, it's kind of perfect for me. Like I'm happy enough with it as is. There's a few, like it's a little bit tatty inside, like the roof lining is starting to come off a little bit. I'd like to get that done, but I do like Alcantara, maybe like a black Alcantara roof. The alarm needs to be done on it. The battery in the key is gone or something like that, or it's not getting the signal, stuff like that. But like it's kind of just maintaining it more so than doing anything substantial to it. But yeah, no, as long as it's running right, I'm kind of happy with it.